Welcome to the Success Partner Podcast. I'm Daya Naef, your host and founder of The Success Partner. On this show, we dive into the stories of attorneys, business professionals, and entrepreneurs who have navigated the ups and downs of building successful careers and businesses. From the strategies they've implemented to the challenges they've overcome, we're here to uncover the insights that can help you on your own journey to success. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. Welcome back, everybody, to the Success Partner Podcast. I am your host, Daya Naef, and I have with me in the studio today, Steve Hamrick. He is an award-winning attorney who handles employment-based and family-based immigration matters. And I know him pretty well. We've had several conversations in real life, and I was very excited to have him on the show. I think he will be a great guest and a great listen for you all here in the audience. So, Steve, welcome.
Thanks for keeping the bar low. My goodness. I definitely enjoyed breaking bread with you. Networking events.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, tell us a little bit about your practice.
Well, we get visas for our clients' employees as well as investors. And then those who are adding someone to their family who is a foreign national, it's the family-based immigration. So we handle both employment-based and family-based. And the investors are, that's a very interesting area because I sense that's going to grow probably vis-a-vis the other employment-based immigration authorizations, which may or may not. We'll have to see what happens under Donald Trump.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to work on an EB-5 program ages ago, so I do know a little bit about the investor-based visas. But I'm also interested to know about this exceptional ability green card. So what constitutes exceptional ability?
Well, an extraordinary ability. There are 10 criteria. Now, if you're a Nobel Prize winner,
okay,
you're in.
You're in.
You don't have to worry about the 10 criteria. But there are 10 indicia of being extraordinary in your field. And you have to meet at least 3 for the O1A visa work authorization. So if the key is having sustained acclaim in your field, national or international sustained acclaim. And if you can show that over a number of years through awards that you've won or media attention that you gathered, or you have experts in the field who can attest to your being at the pinnacle of the field, then you'll be able to get that extraordinary ability visa. I believe, sometimes it's known as the Einstein visa. You don't have to be that intelligent. My understanding is not quite, I hope, because I have to explain the field of expertise at the USCIS, and definitely not at Einstein's level. So I would probably written he has a really interesting theory of relativity, and everybody's copying it. So give it to him. My understanding is that Melania Trump was also either EB-1A or O-1A, which are both extraordinary ability. One's an immigrant visa. It's the EB-1A. It's an immigrant classification, actually. And then the O-1A work authorization. I haven't confirmed that, but that's my understanding is that Melania is one of those.
Okay. Interesting. I would assume maybe some athletes we're going to have to look that up. So,
yeah.
I can, but I have seen athletes, if you follow some sports teams or the Olympics and things like that, it does seem like we recruit people from other countries who would represent us better. And hey, why not, right?
Yeah. And also that, some of these nations don't have the marketing opportunities to accumulate generational wealth. So, if you're an athlete from a small nation that may or may not be having tough economic times, then you can either shoot a basketball, hit a baseball, throw a football. You're going to make a lot more money in the United States. So eventually, their whole family will want to, he or she will want to be here, raise a family, et cetera, et cetera. So citizenship just makes sense for those folks. There's also the P visa for more of your limited engagements. Like if you have a season and you're going to be here from this date to that date. P1 visa is also available to athletes. And I don't see you anymore. Is that okay? Still says a recording. So let me tell you, I was born on a cold, dark Tuesday in Baltimore. Here we are. You're back. Okay. You disappeared.
I know. It's a magic trick, really.
Okay. I thought I'd tell my life story about when I was born. It was an unusually cold and damp day, June 15th,
Oh, wow. Cold.
1965. LBJ was president. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Different time, quite a different time in history. But, as they all say,
Yeah.
unusual times, unprecedented times. And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty much same old, same old.
We are. Yeah, it's interesting because some of the norms of what's happening now are different. But I think that's just because the norms will change, right? I mean, there's always the line of what's normal and what's not. The line keeps moving over time. Now, I think that scares a lot of people, but you can't really be afraid of it. It's going to happen whether you're afraid or not.
Mm-hmm.
So, you have to move right along with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Constant, there's a constant change, constant change. And it's
the only constant is change. Yeah.
I know. Yeah. I really worry about the people who are kind of rigid and not as adaptable as, I'd say us entrepreneurs or us people that are creative people. It's like, what, let's just roll with it. Let's see what can happen. Everything's an opportunity. And it's just a little bit different for other people.
Exactly. And I think people who are rigid are just less happy. Those are the ones complaining about the old days and how much better everything used to be because they're not adapting. Change is not always bad. So, in fact, so many times, like you say, it's an opportunity and you have to roll with it. I know in the practice of law, we're incorporating AI more each year. And I started practicing, 1993. So there was no AI. We didn't email at that point.
Right.
Some people did, but not the firms I was at. We didn't get email till about 94, 95, something like that. So, yeah. I mean, think about what a difference email made, right? Think about what difference the fax machine made. So I think some attorneys are a little afraid of AI. They don't trust it. But the great thing about it is whatever generative AI spits out, it gives you a chance to review it. So it's like getting a draft with just feeding it some information, and then you can take it from there. So I think it's a great first, second step for any process at all.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's your own fault. It's your responsibility to review it. It's your own fault if you don't.
Right.
You wouldn't just.
If a paralegal gave you something,
you would review it, right?
There was that one guy in New York who did it. He's very, very famous.
Yes, going down in infamy.
Not how you want to do it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
The first line of his obituary is going to be that case. I mean, just think about that. How tough would that be? All the things that you achieved in your life in the first line. He was the first AI embarrassment in legal history. It's like, oh, great.
Yeah, but he won't be the only one.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah.
I wonder what his client base is like. Can you imagine?
I don't know. I mean,
you're constantly calling him up like you read this, right?
Yeah, he'll be the model for the certification rules when they come out. So that's what we anticipate next.
Every malpractice presentation by law firm insurance carriers are this guy all over the country. My gosh.
Yeah.
I think to start selling at point. That would just be like, you know what? No.
That's funny. Now what was funny and may have actually boosted his practice is the guy that came to court as a cat.
Right. Yeah, that was early pandemic days.
Early pandemic.
Which is something else. I mean, think about it. I mean, the fear was real then, but you had to adapt very, very quickly because the lockdown started. Day of was like, that's it.
That's it.
Noon, 9 a.m. tomorrow is a lockdown. So then attorneys had to learn how to present online. It's not a telephone call. I mean, you had to learn how to communicate looking at a screen. And I think so many attorneys and paralegals that they really like it because returning to office is been a struggle for a lot of employers because people have just gotten used to this. I mean, you put on a shirt, a jacket, and pajama bottoms, hopefully. So that's whatever. I can assure you, though, I am wearing pants.
I'm in yoga pants, but I won't demonstrate.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the quote unquote Disney visa and how you used it for someone.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Disney visa is usually just for Disney. The background on it is that back when Disney World created the Epcot Center, they worked with their Florida congressional delegation to design a visa just for their foreign national employees who were appearing at Epcot Center. Epcot Center has various national areas, so like for the Spain area, they wanted actual Spanish foreign nationals, but just as kind of like this cultural exchange program. So, it has to be the few visa. What they finished up with was it has to be a registered U.S. business. They have to develop an international cultural exchange program. They have to have a liaison with the business and USCIS. They have to organize cultural exchange events. And then they have to offer, competitive compensation. So, but if you can do all that, then you can petition the USCIS for a visa, the Q1 visa. Only Disney got this. I mean, Disney probably received about 99% of these because the visa was created to specifically tailored to Disney. So it is so specifically tailored, in fact, that the trade is known as the Disney visa. With so many things in business and law, necessity is the mother of invention. So we have a client, I'll just say it's a restaurant, and they wanted to bring this chef into the nation to work for them. But chef didn't have a bachelor's or enough experience for an H-1B. They didn't have any foreign entity that's affiliated with them. So the L1 visa wasn't going to work. Really, they kind of go down the whole alphabet of work authorizations. And the only thing we thought was, well, if they want to invest in a cultural exchange program and develop one and set one up, we could try the Q. So it was very unusual for a restaurant to even, try one of these things. But that's what we did. We dug into the regulations. We dug into all the ins and outs, everything you're supposed to do as a law firm and as an attorney. I had a wonderful paralegal on the case with me. What we did was we worked with our client to develop this program. And the foreign national actually came into the country for some cultural events, cooking, traditional cultural dishes. They were actually on some of the local news channels for where the restaurant is, would have this chef on and ask about the culture of his nation. So this was the cultural development program to meet that prong. And we worked hand in hand with the client to kind of check off all the boxes so that this chef could qualify for Q1. We petitioned the USCIS for that Q1 visa, and lo and behold, we got it. And it was a big moment. I'm not going to lie. It was very, very gratifying to get that because that's not the type of visa that a chef would normally get. And somebody outside of Disney getting that visa is so rare. So, of course, the celebration was at that restaurant.
Awesome. Absolutely. Yeah, that's great. Well, great success story.
So,
Yeah, and I just want to hint on,
and it's just what you can do if you kind of buckle down and don't be, again, like we talked about with the flexibility of changing times, changing norms, and don't be afraid. Dig in and grab the bull by the horns as much as you can, and get in there and get it done. And see if it can be done. Just because it isn't normally done doesn't mean it can't be done.
Yeah, Steve, you're the definition of a creative lawyer.
That's what we pride ourselves on here at Shaw and Wright Hall. In fact, our the slogan for the firm used to be winning immigration strategies, and there's a lot of creativity involved in that. So yeah, that's we have great input from a deep bench here of attorneys. I know that we rely on every day. It's great to just have successful attorneys, but knowledgeable and experienced. You can bounce things off of them and get an intelligent response back that adds value, and it provides a benefit for you and the client you're working on. So I'm really lucky to be here.
Yeah, that's great. And you guys are headquartered in DC or Maryland? Yeah, where are you? Sorry, where are you headquartered, Steve?
So we are our headquarters is in Bethesda, Maryland. It's actually our only office. I work from home. Also, I live about 6 miles from the office. It's funny. I wanted to shorten my commute time because here in the Washington D.C. area, commutes are just ridiculously long. So I was house hunting in 2019, and in August I bought a house 6 miles away, and I thought, great, 15-20 minute commute. It's going to be easy. And then the pandemic hit about 7 months later. I could have been anywhere. I could have lived on a houseboat, and just done the Zoom thing the whole time. So anyway, yeah, I do come in to the office sometimes more than I want to because it is nearby. That was the whole idea to begin with. I didn't realize I could, um, be beachside and have the ocean outside of my window. Instead, I have lovely downtown Bethesda, Maryland. So I'd show you, but it's just too strikingly beautiful that it could shock the how gorgeous.
Yeah. I was there. Well, I saw you there at the Provisor Social a couple weeks ago, and it was lit up. Everything was lit up for the holidays, and so it was very nice.
Yeah, Bethesda's actually, it is very nice. It is very nice. Can't argue about that. I had a house fire about 3 weeks after I bought my house. And so I was displaced for about 8 months. And the insurance company put me up at a 2-bedroom apartment. This is me and my 2 cats, by the way. Mm-hmm. 2-bedroom apartment, catty corner from where the office building is, which I work. And for 2 bedrooms, just a regular old 2-bedroom, $5,300 a month. That was in 2019.
Wow.
I gasped. Yeah. I was in the leasing office, and I had my insurance agent on the phone, and it was the leasing guy there. So it's like, okay, how much will that be? And he said, $5,300 a month. And I gasped. And my agent said, "Don't worry, Steve, we got this.
We got it. We got it." And hopefully they hurried up and fixed your house.
It took 8 months.
Wow.
I had some other jobs because my next door neighbor was kind of my spy, and she was texting me like, "I don't see a truck. I don't see anybody over there." Yeah. But then she let me know when they started coming in. It was around this time of year, actually. So the first couple of months, I don't know. I guess it was finishing up something else too.
Wow.
We got back in 2020, and all was well. So
yeah. And now you're in your house
living. Yes. Yeah, very happy in the house. I love my neighbors. I have great neighbors. My neighbors are actually immigrants themselves. They immigrated from Haiti. And then when all the talk about Springfield, Ohio broke out on the campaign trail, it was, oh, God. I mean, these folks are so lovely. I wrote them a card saying, I hope that nobody is saying these things or taunting your children at school or anything like that, because it's just utterly ridiculous. So now every time they see me, they say, "Hey, Steve, it's us, your Haitian neighbors." Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on my
I mean, I would think,
so.
yeah, well, Bethesda is quite a multicultural.
It is. It is. And I love that. I love that about Bethesda and Silver Spring, Montgomery counties.
Mhm.
It's been home for quite a long time for me. So I grew up in Baltimore. So I'm always in Baltimore, and that city just never leaves you. It's kind of like New Orleans. Baltimore has that little funkiness about it. It's kind of like things are a little off kilter, but in a fun kind of way. But you think, wow, does that really happen? There are things that are just totally Baltimore. In fact, it's funny, the networking group which we belong, Provisors, we kind of kicked around the idea of me and some of the other members providers who are actually in Baltimore still having a little 5 minute "This is Baltimore" type of segment because there are things here that happen. It's just like, of course, that happened in Baltimore. Why wouldn't it? Yeah, things you just can't even make up.
That's funny. Yeah, we have a Facebook group here in New Orleans called Things Overheard in New Orleans. Oh, yeah.
You never saw the disclaimer at the beginning. That is Torani syrup water.
Torani syrup water. Yes, not wine. Although we have no idea when we're filming this, they don't know. So it will come out in the morning. They are released in the morning because social media likes you to put things out in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, great.
Whatever floats your boat.
Well, Steve, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. Thank you, listeners, to the Success Partner podcast. And Steve, how do people find you if they want to reach out with an immigration inquiry?
They can find the firm website, TROW, Rahal, RAHAL.com, or they can email me directly at Steve H, STEVEH, at TRORahal.com. And I'd love to help you.
Wonderful. I'll put all that in the show notes so that we can reach out to you, Steve. And thanks everybody for listening. Please subscribe and stay tuned.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on the Success Partner Podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's conversation and found some valuable takeaways to apply to your own business journey. Remember, this show is brought to you by The Success Partner, where we help small law firms and business owners achieve unparalleled success through strategic guidance, operational excellence, and effective marketing. If you're ready to take your business to the next level, visit thesuccesspartner.net to learn more. Until next time, keep striving for success, and I will see you in the next episode.